sections of cave made Mammoth Cave famous. The rotunda, the Methodist church, the tuberculosis huts, Indian artifacts, a collapse at Lookout Mountain, 10 or 15 rangers in there you can ask questions to. All right, that's what we do. Now on your part, we ask that you stay on the trail. Try not to touch anything that doesn't need touching, okay? Food, drink, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms not allowed in the cave with the exception of water. You can take photography, but no...
And in the middle of this room is kind of the thing that gets everybody's attention are some artifacts. You can actually see from the dirt piled off to my right here, someone's piled a lot of dirt here. The actual floor is over here, so maybe about 25 feet of dirt has been added to this room. Humans made this room smaller. We never chiseled away at the walls to make this place bigger. We moved dirt around and actually made this place smaller because this is a saltpeter mine. The dirt is enriched with nitrates. And our early owners realized that nitrates were valuable. They could be leached out of the soil using the water from the waterfall at the entrance. They could pile dirt in these leaching vats, use them like a coffee filter, and out the bottom would come a nitrate-rich foam that they could pump outside, cook, and add potassium. That's one of the 3 key ingredients in gunpowder. That's called saltpeter, potassium nitrate. Before, leading up to, and during the War of 1812, that was our business, and that was lucrative. We made a lot of money here. But when the war came to an end, and we no longer needed this never-ending supply of gunpowder, the business model changed. In 1816, when the bottom fell out of the market on saltpeter, it became a tourist attraction. And we've been guiding tours down here since 1816. So 204 years of guided tour history here at Mammoth Cave.
Okay, so this cave is primarily made up of limestone, and limestone is a highly dissolvable mineral. And along the limestone where the black is, that's where gypsum used to be. Gypsum crystals used to, they do still grow out of the wall of Mammoth Cave. So at one time, all these black spots were where gypsum used to be, and it would be like walking through a winter wonderland because gypsum is very light and sparkly. But over time, as humans, started traveling through this cave, the gypsum disappeared because gypsum is also very fragile and it's subject to disappear, kind of like if you put cotton candy in water. So even just breathing on it can change its structure. And since there were, several thousands of people that have come through this cave, they would also build fires, especially in the 1800s. They would have the oil lanterns and they would build fires if they were staying in the cave for an extended period of time. So the gypsum eventually melted or got burned away, but leaving behind these really neat shapes. And some of the early cave guides of the 1840s would actually make up stories about those shapes because they did have to keep their guests entertained. Because if you were traveling to Mammoth Cave in the 1800s, you were rich because you had the luxury to do that. You weren't tied down to agriculture or a farm. So you had the luxury to travel the rural, rugged back roads of Kentucky to come here and stay. And so they would ask about, the shapes on the ceiling. And one of the cool ones I like to point out is our cave mermaid. And she is directly behind you. She's right here. There is her face, or her head rather. Here's the body coming down from the tail. And then if you go back up here, you'll see that she's juggling seashells.
Experimental hospital here in the 1840s. Of course, this was before the germ theory of disease, and many folks thought at the time that it was the air you were breathing that influenced your health more than anything. If you've heard the term, malaria, for instance, literally means bad air. We know now it's caused by a disease organism. This was experimental hospital, Dr. John Cron, actual medical doctor. And these are the remnants. There were, of course, wooden structures as well that didn't hold up through time. Probably kind of scavenged for parts as well. And the idea was hopefully that putting them down here in this dry, cool air would improve their TB symptoms.
And I think it was only 8 months that they had it?
It was less than 2 years. It was more than 8 months in total, but not very much time at all.
But it didn't help people?
It did not. It didn't seem to, no.
Yeah.
I think the longest one patient stayed down here was about 8 months.
What was it? Oh, that might
We
have
have his diary.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Alright, we just got out of the cave. We had so much fun. Now we're gonna go check out the rest of this park. Something to think about when you're planning your trip is from the visitor center, you have to walk down a really long road, and then the 1.25 mile cave. And so make sure and use the bathroom because there's no bathrooms to be found down there. And I tried to clean the lens, but it's so foggy, so humidity over here that within seconds this is the type of footage that we're getting. So we're gonna keep exploring around a little bit more. Off to see Sand Cave Trail. We just got done with the cave and it was so much fun. And we were driving back and we remembered this little spot that we wanted to check out. So we parked and had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And now we're gonna go check out this sand cave because I guess some guy got caught in the sand and he ended up dying back here. So pray for us that we don't get stuck there as well. So we made our way over to the entrance to the cave. The first part of the trail is maybe 1/4 mile, and it's all this really fun wood path. And then we hike down into the mouth of the cave. We're gonna go explore around a little bit and then hit the road pretty soon. All right, that concludes our trip to Mammoth Cave. Make sure if you'll come here during non-COVID times, that way you'll be able to see a lot more of the different cave tours. We went on the self-guided historic tour and it was a blast. Hope you guys enjoyed this footage. Keep coming with us as we bring you prayer, travel, and adventure. Tomorrow we're headed up north in Kentucky to film at the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum. Every week we're putting out more content. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. That way you'll see all of our videos in the future. Guys, we appreciate you coming along for this ride and we'll see you in the next one.